Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Bukola Naturals and DIYs. So in today's video, I'll be showing you how to make a simple but amazing leave-in conditioner spray to soften and stimulate hair growth. So this formula is divided into 3 phases. So we have the water phase, which contains water-based ingredients, the oil phase, which contains oil-based ingredients, and lastly, the cool down phase, which contains ingredients that we don't want to heat because some are sensitive to heat. So this is 100 grams batch. You can make any batch size you want. For example, if you want to make a 200 grams batch with this formula, you will multiply each ingredient by doing, for example, water 65%, which is 65 grams, times 2.0, or 0.65 times 200, which will give you like 130 grams. Okay, so these are the ingredients I'm using for this formula. So I'm going to explain each ingredient and its function in this video. So I'm going to begin this recipe by weighing my water phase ingredients. So I'll be using a Pyrex measuring cup. I'll start by adding my distilled water. When making products like this, especially products that you want to use for a longer period, you'll need distilled water and not tap water, because distilled water is free from toxins and microbes. Distilled water is purified water. So the next thing I'm going to do is take out 1 ml of water to dissolve my potassium sorbate, which is a preservative booster. So for this formula, I'll just be using 0.20 grams of this potassium sorbate. So I'll just add it into this water, and this will be added in the cool down phase. So I'm just going to set it aside. So the next thing I'll be adding to this formula is lavender hydrosol, which is also known as lavender flower water. Lavender nourishes the hair and adds moisture to it. So if you want to improve the texture of your hair, if you want a soft, shining, long, healthy hair, lavender is a good ingredient. So our next ingredient is glycerin. Glycerin is a humectant. Humectant is an important ingredient and for hair care, for skin care, because what humectant does is to attract water from the hair, from the atmosphere to the hair and onto the skin. So glycerin is a very good ingredient which attracts moisture to the hair. So what I'm going to do now is just to mix everything together. So our next ingredient is cetrimonium chloride, which is a cationic conditioner. It contains antiseptic, antifungal, and antibacterial properties. So cetrimonium chloride softens the hair and allows easy combing. So this is a very good ingredient as well. So when making leave-in conditioners, conditioner, even shampoo, cetrimonium chloride is a very good ingredient. So I'll just be adding 2 grams of this ingredient. So the next ingredient is polyquaterium 7, which is a conditioning polymer. It makes the hair soft as well. It makes it shiny and smooth, and it also allows easy combing. So I'll be adding 1.5 grams of this ingredient as well. So when using a scale, please use a digital scale of 0.0 or 0.00. I prefer working with 0.0 gram digital scale because it is more accurate, and I don't have to use excess ingredients. My ingredients are accurate with it. So the last ingredient for our water phase is sodium phytate. Okay, sodium phytate is a chelating agent. So what are chelating agents? Chelating agents have many functions. So they help boost preservative efficacy and also antioxidant efficacy. So chelating agent is able to effectively inactive metal ions by forming a complex between the chelator and metal. So it literally prevents product contamination and discoloration. So I usually prefer adding this ingredient to my aqueous products or my emulsions. So after adding all my water-based ingredients, I'm just going to mix everything together and set it aside. So now it's time to weigh my oil phase ingredients. So always make sure you tare your scale before adding your ingredients. This is to reset the balance display to 0. You will see that on your scale. So this is to make sure you are adding the right amount of ingredients. So now I'll be adding my fractionated coconut oil, which is an emollient that moisturizes and softens the hair. Coconut oil is one of my favorite oils for hair because it easily penetrates the hair follicle. So after that, I'll be adding barium chloride, which is an emulsifying wax. So water and oil do not mix together, and when they're added together, as you can see in this picture, the oil will settle on the surface of the water. So to mix oil and water together, you will need an emulsifier. So in today's video, I will be using barium chloride, which has a strong conditioning property. It makes the hair soft and silky. It contains good anti-static properties, and I'll just be using 2 grams of this emulsifier because we want an aqueous conditioner. So the last ingredient I'll be adding into the oil phase beaker is shea butter, which is one of my favorite butters. It moisturizes the hair and softens it as well. It protects the hair from breakage and stimulates hair growth. So I'll be adding just 1 gram of shea butter. So now that these ingredients are ready, before I eat them, what I'm gonna do is to weigh my water phase before eating it, because during it water evaporates and I'll have to replace the water I lost with more distilled water. So right now I'll be covering my beakers with aluminium foil to avoid evaporation. So I'll be eating them in a water bath and on a low heat. I'll be eating the water phase up to 70 centigrade and the oil phase up to 80 centigrade. So guys, now our ingredients are ready. So I changed the beaker of the water phase because I put it in a bigger one. So right now I'm going to add my oil phase into the water phase. Make sure you add the oil into the water and not water into the oil. Okay, so follow this procedure. So with the help of an immersion blender, I will mix everything together. So right now our product is still hot. I have to wait till it's less than 40 degrees centigrade before adding my cool down phase ingredients, because some of the ingredients are sensitive to it, especially my essential oils and extracts. Even the type of preservative I'm using is sensitive to it. So to speed up the cool down phase, I will be cooling it in a cold water bath. So while I'm waiting for the product to cool down, I'll be weighing my cool down phase ingredients. I'll be adding propanediol, which is also a humectant like glycerin, and it's also a preservative booster. The next ingredient I'm adding is hydrolyzed rice protein. It increases hair volume and binds moisture into the hair, which makes the hair soft. I love using hydrolyzed rice protein and also hydrolyzed wheat protein. So for this formula, I'll be using hydrolyzed rice protein. So now I'm adding vitamin E oil. So vitamin E oil is an antioxidant which prevents the oxidation of the oil we had in our oil phase. Okay, so it is important we had that too. So green tea is our hero ingredient. I'll be adding green tea extract, which helps reduce hair dryness, hair loss, and stimulates hair growth. So green tea is very good for the hair and it's also very good for the skin. It contains a lot of beneficial properties for the hair and for the skin. So now I'm gonna add my polysorbate 20, which is a solubilizer. So because our leave-in conditioner is more of an aqueous conditioner. I don't want to add essential oil straight to it because I don't just want the oil to just float on the surface of the leave-in conditioner. So I will be solubilizing it with the oils with polysorbate 20, which is a very good solubilizer. So I'll be adding the polysorbate into this little cup before I add my essential oils into it. So the essential oils I'm using are clary sage essential oil, peppermint essential oil, and chamomile essential oil. So peppermint essential oil is one of my favorite essential oils. Peppermint essential oil increases blood flow on the scalp, which helps stimulate hair growth. It also soothes itching scalp. Chamomile essential oil conditions the scalp and softens the hair, while clary sage essential oil stimulates the scalp and also stimulates hair growth. So after adding the essential oils to the polysorbate 20, I mix them together and set aside. So remember the potassium sorbate I mixed together at the beginning of this video. So now I'm going to add Cosgard, which is a water-soluble broad spectrum preservative, and it is EcoCert approved. When formulating aqueous products or emulsions, we need a broad spectrum preservative. This preservative is effective against a wide range of bacteria, yeast, and molds. It suppresses the growth or formation of yeast and bacteria. You need to know that vitamin E or grapeseed oil are not preservatives. So the reason I added potassium sorbate is because it's a preservative booster. It boosts the preservative. So now that our product has cooled down, I'll be adding all my cool down phase ingredients, then mixed together with a whisk. So now it's time to check the pH of my product. So it is important to check the pH of your product. You can use a pH meter or a pH strip and make sure it is between 5.0 to 5.5. So mine was too low and I added a few drops of sodium hydroxide to increase the pH. So now my leave-in conditioner is ready and I just pour it into a spray bottle. So that's it for this video, guys, and I hope you enjoyed watching. If you have any question, leave it in the comment section. I will definitely reply. Happy formulation. Like and subscribe to support this channel. Okay, so you can use this leave-in conditioner on dry hair or wet hair, but I always prefer on wet hair, but I use it for my daughter's braids and just to revitalize the braids. Okay, so thank you. Like and subscribe. Bye. Ciao ciao ciao.